Hello and welcome to our Premier League review show and Football Talk podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for this evening. What a weekend we have encountered in the Premier League. A 9-goal thriller at Tottenham Stadium, Man City losing yet again, Chelsea dropping points against Everton, and Arsenal securing a win after a 5-1 victory over Palace. So let's review all the games in Matchweek 17. There's no place to start other than in North London, as you can see on the screen. What a game at the Tottenham Stadium, a 9-goal thriller as Liverpool absolutely destroyed, mullered, annihilated, dismantled Spurs 6-3. So lots of talking points to discuss. Let's discuss the key moments of the game. So in the first half, the game started in a real attacking manner. Both teams were on the front foot, which hasn't been Liverpool's style of play this season under Slot. Normally we're a bit more calm and composed, but it was a sign that we were in for a spectacle. The deadlock could have been broken a lot earlier than the opening goal, as there were a lot of chances created. Mohamed Salah had a few occasions himself. One of his shots was blocked by Spence, who had a decent game at left back against Salah, and another one where he went past two players, shot with his right foot, and it ended up rattling the crossbar. But the opening goal occurred around 23rd minute, and what a ball it was from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Whipped it in with plenty of flow and pinpoint accuracy towards Diaz, who applied a fantastic header into the corner to make it 1-0. Then Liverpool continued their charge and added another one on the board as McAllister makes it 2-0 with a close range header. Great ball from Robbo towards the ball, and then McAllister, who reacted to extend the lead. But then unfortunately, Liverpool conceded a goal and McAllister was at fault. He received the ball from Trent and completely miscontrolled it. Madison nicks it from him and picks up his spot to curl it right into the corner to make it 2-1. At that stage, nothing Allison could have done with regards to that shot. But Liverpool maintained the two-goal lead after just before half time, sorry. Spurs were applying pressure on Liverpool defence, and at one point it looked like Liverpool about to concede the ball. That wasn't the case. Trent ends up hitting a long ball up top. Szoboszlai heads it down towards Salah, who returns the favour to Szoboszlai. He's through on goal and hits a shot through the legs to make it 3-1. Great finish from the Hungarian midfielder, who's really stepped it up since his return from international duty. In the second half, Liverpool wasted no time and grabbed another one to make it 4-1. Great play from Gakpo on the left wing, who was through on goal and actually thought he maybe should have shot himself, but fair play to him. He cuts back a low pass towards the danger zone. So Szoboszlai slides in but fails to make any contact on the ball. The ball ends up falling towards Mohamed Salah, and he's not wasting any time. So he smashed it from 2 yards out to put his name on the score sheet. Then moments later, Liverpool added another goal to the tally. This time it was Szoboszlai who unselfishly squared it to Mohamed Salah, and he scored from close range again to make it his second goal of the game, but also 5-1 for Liverpool. Liverpool were simply unstoppable at this stage. Everything was turning to gold. But Spurs showed a bit of fight through Kulusevski, who, in my opinion, was the driving force in the team. He scores a fantastic volley to make it 5-2. Nicely pass from Solanke to give Kulusevski the height to hit that half volley the way he did. So decent goal there from the Swedish player. But unfortunately, Liverpool showed elements of complacency as they conceded another one not so long after. Robertson loses a routine clearance from Brennan Johnson, who heads it towards the 6-yard box. And former Red Solanke slides and scores from close range with his left foot. Looked like he hurt his teeth in the process, but I'm sure he'll be pleased to score against his former club. But Liverpool managed to get the sixth goal to kind of seal the deal. Not that there was any chance of us losing the lead or anything to that nature. Great team play from Jota, who finds the Szoboszlai. He passes to Salah, and then Salah produces a first-time pass to Diaz, and he produces a fantastic low shot into the corner to make it 6-3. Overall, a fantastic game for the Reds and also for the neutral fan. The opening 40 minutes is, in my opinion, is probably the best that Liverpool played so far this season, and it was a joy to watch. credit to Arne Slot for setting up the team in a perfect manner, deploying a more aggressive approach, and for me, it's certainly paid off. Liverpool maintained the lead at the top with a 4 point gap, with still a game in hand. So I'm very pleased with the result. Also, we have to give a huge shout out to Mohamed Salah, who has broken a couple records. He's the first player to score more than 10 goals, 14 goals, sorry, to be precise, with 10 assists before Christmas. And that's the first time that's ever happened. And the second record is that he's now the fourth all-time top goal scorer for Liverpool Football Club. Now, for me, this man doesn't get enough flowers from rival fans and also Liverpool fans. Obviously not on this channel because I'm always giving him huge praise. And at this stage, I'm quite lost for words to how to describe the Egyptian king. He's been sensational since the day he arrived at the club for 8 seasons straight. He's performed at the very highest level and he's done it very consistently. And he's not just a player that, is a bit part player. He turns up in all the big games, scores countless amount of goals, and it's also the playmaker of the team. So quite frankly, he's Mr. Liverpool, whether you like it or not. So my message to FSG is get it together. This is a living legend right there. We can't let him walk away from the club. Where I'll be honest with you, I actually think he still can continue to play at this level, and I feel like there's areas of his game that is improving, like his passing range and the eye for the final pass looks effortless when it comes off, and there's no decline in terms of his playing abilities. And let's be honest, he's a special player and he's a joy to watch. So I pray that it's not his final season with Liverpool. Now, let's talk about the opposition. In regards to Tottenham, certainly some worrying signs for the fans as many are feeling disgruntled, especially if you're on social media. And there's even some sections suggesting that he should be sacked. I personally don't think that's the correct decision. As I do admire his philosophy and the way he sets his team up. But at the same time, his team is conceding a lot of goals and they're not getting a lot of wins, especially in recent weeks. But I have to be honest as well. One thing that isn't getting spoken about too much is the fact that Tottenham have a lot of injuries, especially from a defensive point of view. They're losing key players like Van der Ven, Romero, Davis, and the goalkeeper Vicario. They've also got a couple of players like Odegaard and Richarlison not available. So they're certainly feeling the effect of having less numbers in their squad. Spurs just need to get together, start stringing a couple of decent results, and for me, they'll start climbing up the table. And it's very congested if you look at the top half. Next game is Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. As you can see, scoreline, the Gunners managed to claim back-to-back victories against the Eagles, with this scoreline being 5-1. Jesus opened the scoreline as he latched onto the loose ball around the 6-yard box and hits it low to make it 1-0. Palace then respond with an equaliser as Ismail Assar scores a fantastic goal from the left side and finishing it right in the bottom corner. He's been in great form in recent weeks for Palace, looking like his old self when he first joined Watford. Arsenal then scored a second goal from a set piece, surprise, surprise, as Partey lays it off for Jesus and he places it high into the corner to make it 2-1. Havertz then makes it 3-1 after Jesus hits the post with his header and Havertz scores from the rebound. Martinelli, playing on the right side in the game, scores from close range to make it 4-1, and Declan Rice completes the game by scoring a decent goal from the edge of the box to make it 5-1. So overall, a great win for Arsenal. Questionable defending from Palace as they conceded a lot of sloppy goals, and for me, they should have done a lot better. Arsenal remain in third place with 33 points, 6 points away from Liverpool. But despite the huge win, unfortunately, it was overshadowed by Saka's injury, who will now be out of action for around 6 weeks. So Mikel Pulis will need to find a solution as there isn't a direct replacement for Saka in the team. I probably would have said Sterling, as I think he would be the best suited to play right wing. Um, but at the minute, I believe he's got an injury, so he's not available. Even so, Mikel Arteta hasn't really given him much game time. So it adds the question if Sterling was a Arteta signing, because as it stands, it doesn't seem to be the case. But let's see what happens in the coming weeks for Arsenal and see how they cope without Saka. On to the next game. Aston Villa versus Man City. It gets from bad to worse for City as they suffer yet again another defeat. This time they lost 2-1 to Villa, who probably should have scored a lot more goals than they actually did in the end. Let's talk about the goals, in fact, in the game. Former Man City prospect Morgan Rogers provides the assist for the opening goal as Tielemans opens up the City defense with a through ball. Morgan is through on goal, squares it to John Duran, and he finishes clinically to make it 1-0. City applied plenty of pressure and got some chances themselves, but they were unable to break the deadlock. It ended up being Cold Rogers who gets on the score sheet himself with a left footed finish to make it 2-0. Phil Foden, who's not had the best of seasons, if I'm being brutally honest, to his standards, gets a consolation goal for City in the last minute. But at that stage, the damage was done. Villa secured a great victory against the City Blues. Liverpool. Villa move up to sixth in the table. And in fact, overtake Man City, who are currently in seventh, which is crazy when you say it out loud. And it's astonishing how City have declined over the last couple of months. Forget top four, they will fight in their hands to remain in the top half of the table. Jokes aside, you would think City will go into the market and strengthen the squad, but I'm not so sure, especially with the court charges now increasing to 130. It's probably wise not to spend too much money when there is a investigation currently happening right now. But from a City point of view, things need to change. And this will be a huge test and challenge for Pep Guardiola to see if he can turn it around this season, despite having suffered countless amount of losses. But we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. On to the next fixture. Everton versus Chelsea. Chelsea had the opportunity to go top of the table, but unfortunately missed out as they were held to a goalless draw against Everton at Goodison Park. Both keepers were forced to produce a number of saves to deny their attackers. Mangala had a couple of shots on goal, and Dai was very close to scoring himself, but his shot was blocked in the end. I would probably say Nicholas Jackson had the best chance in the first half, but unfortunately he hit it straight at the keeper from close range. But well done to Everton for holding off Chelsea to secure a point and also helping out their neighbours Liverpool with regards to the title race. Chelsea remain in second, 4 points behind Liverpool, who actually have a game in hand. Next fixture, Manchester United versus Bournemouth. Deja vu for United fans, as this time last year they suffered a 3-0 defeat at the hands of Bournemouth, and history repeats itself as they lost to Bournemouth 3-0 again over the weekend. Hoyson scores the first goal for Bournemouth in the 29th minute after he produced a looping header from a set piece. Then in the second half, United conceded a penalty as Mazraoui fouled Cliver from behind. No arguments with the decision. Cliver steps up for the penalty and produces a calm finish to make it 2-0. Bournemouth then make it 3-0 just after the hour mark. Great play from Otaro on the left-hand side. He cuts back a pass towards Semenyo and he finishes with a left-footed strike to rattle the back of the net. And that was it from Old Trafford. United lose another game under Amorim, and things don't seem to be improving one bit. The leaky ceiling in the press room isn't their only concern as they continue to leak goals. And right now, they look very disjointed as a collective. Ruben Amorim already looks like he regrets his decision. I don't think he realized what he has got himself into. But with the January window opening next week, there could be a possibility that we'll see some new signings being made by Manchester United. But at the same time, I've heard that stewards are getting their Christmas bonuses withdrawn, so the funds might not be available until the summer. So it looks like the team will probably continue to suffer um, if things don't change on the pitch. Also, a big talking point of the game was the fact that Rashford was not selected in the squad. There's a huge concern as it appears that he's not the manager's cup of tea and could be surplus to requirements. So right now it looks like he's destined to leave the club, possibly the next window. You just never know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him in terms of where he moves. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of suitors within the Premier League, but also abroad. But in regards to Manchester United, they remain in 13th place, whereas Bournemouth have moved up the table to 5th place, which is quite remarkable. And what a season they're having so far. Now, in other games, another team that's been sensational is Nottingham Forest. Uh, they just can't stop winning. Three back-to-back wins, and they are climbing up the table. They managed to beat Brentford 3-0 at the G-Tech Community Stadium. Ola Aina opens the scoreline with a neat finish, and he's making a bit of a habit of scoring these type of goals. Great assist from Nico Williams on the left-hand side. Alanga then makes it 2-0 with a great finish as he cuts infield and hits the bottom corner. Overall, a great win for Forest. They have now moved up to third in the Premier League, which is simply unbelievable. What a season that they're having, and huge credit has to go to Nuno Santos. Next game is Ipswich Town versus Newcastle. As you can see, huge scoreline, and Ipswich Town got hammered by Newcastle with a 4-0 result there. They were shut down by Isak the Gunman, who opened the scoreline with a thumping finish. It only took him 36 seconds to break the deadlock. Jacob Murphy gets on the score sheet again in consecutive weeks as he smashes one crossbar in to make it 2-0. What boots is this guy wearing? Because the power that he's generating in these shots is something else. But fair play to him. He's getting a lot more goals to his tally. Isak is then gifted with an early Christmas present as he finds the ball at his feet from a few yards out and he calmly slots it in to make it 3-0. Then Isak gets the match ball after he completes his hat trick, scoring from close range. From a Liverpool fan's point of view, FSG, this is the striker that Liverpool need next summer. So please make it happen. Just saying it out loud. On to the next one. West Ham versus Brighton. West Ham managed to grab an important equaliser to take a point home. They conceded first after a mistake from Fabianski, who tried to punch the ball from a aerial challenge, only for the ball to drop to Weaver, who calmly places the ball into the back of the net to score his first goal for the Seagulls. And then minutes later, Bowen is through on goal. He hits a low shot, which gets parried away by Verbruggen, but only as far as Kudus, who manages to hit a header from the rebound to make it 1-1. Brighton applied a lot of pressure, especially through their right winger, Minte, but they couldn't find the killer touch in front of goal and unfortunately had to settle for a draw. And speaking of draws, the next game, Fulham versus Southampton, ended up goalless, which for me was a bit of a surprise considering how many goals Southampton have conceded this season, and they don't really keep a lot of clean sheets. Fulham will definitely be disappointed as they couldn't get all 3 points. They produced a lot of chances, especially through Iwobi and Wilson, who were very close to converting on a number of occasions. Not sure about the bright pink away kit from Southampton, but they will be pleased to have gained the point with their new manager awaiting for his work permit before he is officially ready to start his role as the new manager of Southampton. And the final fixture of Matchweek 17 between Leicester and Wolves. Victor Pereira started his reign as Wolves manager in flying colours as they beat Leicester City very comfortably with a 3-0 victory. Guedes opens the scoreline with a great volley finish. Rodrigo Gomez makes it 2-0 from a sliding finish. But looking at the goal, you expect better defending from Justin James, whose final touch created that opening for Wolves and didn't really help the goalkeeper in that situation. Then the man in form, Cunha, makes it 3-0 with his finish from a tight angle, posting in, and that secures all 3 points for Wolves. With Van Nistelrooy will need a huge improvement from his team as they'll be facing the league leaders Liverpool on Boxing Day. So that is the end of the Match Week 17 review. Before we approach the closing stages of the show, I'd like to announce the FPL Manager of the Week. A lot of high scores this time round. So well done to everyone in terms of your selection. So the FPL Manager of the Week for Match Week 17 is one Ashraf, and his team is called Mugiwara no Luffy, and he managed to gain 117 points. So big up to you, one. That is a huge scoreline. I managed to get 83, and I thought I did well, but seeing your tally, fair play to you, you did really well. So in terms of my performance, climbing up the table slowly, but nowhere near the top 10, which still trying to reach. So speaking of top 10, what we'll do now, we'll present the FPL table and see if there's been any changes up top. See if we've got a new leader. So yeah, let's present the screen now. So as you can see, there is a new leader. We've got Vipin Mohan, who had a good week, 94 points, and he's managed to climb up straight to the top in first place. Then you've got Chris Barnett dropping to second, Godwin, Chrissy Ochero moving up to third, Jake Harrison moving up to fourth, Tayo Aziz dropping to fifth, Ellie Clark remaining in sixth place, Melissa Morris dropping to seventh, Jordan Smith moving up to eighth, Maya Tonison dropping down to ninth, and Handy Abda moving down to 10th place. So that is the top 10. So big up to everyone for your points tally there. A lot more games coming up next week. We've got Boxing Day fixtures on Thursday. Then we've got more fixtures on the weekend. So yeah, make sure you're in tune with when you need to update the team, because I've certainly missed a few deadlines this season. So yeah, just one there for you guys as a reminder. Um, and yes, what we can do now, we can go through the upcoming fixtures for match week 18. And I'll of course provide you with my predictions for those games. So here are the fixtures. There you go. The first game is a 12:30 kickoff, so Man City won't be happy about it. Thankfully, it's not Liverpool because normally we get that time slot. They'll be facing Everton at home. If it was at Goodison, I'd probably have gone for an Everton surprise or maybe even a draw. I think Man City will get the win. I think they'll go back to winning ways from this game onwards. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for Man City. Bournemouth versus Palace. Bournemouth have been sensational at home this season. They've made their stadium into a fortress. So I'm going to go for a Bournemouth win. I think the result's going to be 3-1 to the Cherries. Next, you've got a West London derby there between Chelsea and Fulham. I think Chelsea will be victorious in this one, but just about, 'cause Fulham will definitely show a fight, and they have shown some good form in recent weeks. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for the Blues. Then you have Newcastle versus Aston Villa, which will be an interesting game to watch. I I'd go for a draw. I think this will be evenly contested. I'm going for a 1-1 result. Nottingham Forest versus Spurs. The big question whenever I review Spurs, which Spurs team is going to turn up, because they play good football, but they leak a lot of goals. But obviously, I think they are suffering due to a lot of injuries in their squad. Whereas right now, Forest are on cloud nine right now. So I'm going to go for a Forest win, and it's going to be. I'm going for a 2-0 win. I think they might keep a clean sheet. So that's my prediction there. Southampton versus West Ham. For some reason, 0-0 is coming to my head. I don't think there'll be goals in this one. So I'm going for a 0-0. Wolves versus Man United. I'm not throwing shade here because I'm a Liverpool fan, but I don't see United winning this one. They've been in poor form, and Molineu's always been a tricky ground to get points. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Wolves. Liverpool face Leicester City, so we've got the evening kickoff, which is nice rather than having a midday one. I'm going to go for Liverpool win. The way Leicester City have performed in recent weeks, yeah, I don't expect Liverpool to be troubled, especially being played at Anfield. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory for the Reds. And the Friday fixtures, we've got Brighton versus Brentford. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And then you've got Arsenal versus Ipswich Town. I think Arsenal will win 3-0 in that game as well. So that is my predictions for match week 18. So feel free to drop a comment, let me know what scorelines you are envisioning for this match week. And yeah, feel free to let me know what you think. So that is the predictions. What I'll do now is I'll go through some of the comments and then we can close the show. So here we go. We'll start with first comment here. Apologies. There we go. Um, Dad's big up Dad. He says, big up Ozzie. Cody is only one away from a ban. Oh, is that right? I would still play him, to be fair, as I feel like we'll need to rotate the squad. We're playing on Thursday, then Sunday. So, it's always going to be a thing where someone's going to pick up a suspension here and there. So I don't think that should affect the team selection. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I'll be doing a match preview tomorrow, so stay tuned for that one tomorrow. Jamie Phillips Football Chat says, big up fella, big up yourself, Jamie. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for tuning in. Please, guys, make sure you subscribe to Jamie's channel, doing some fantastic content on his channel there. So, yeah, please show your support and hit that subscribe button. Dad says, big up, Jamie, mate. Have a good one. Yeah, big up to Daz and Jamie there. Ozzie, where were the officials? Blue, not black. Not too sure what you're referring to there, Daz, but if you're still online, let me know. You can clarify what you're saying there. Nick says Saka is injured for 8 weeks. I thought it was 6 weeks, so even worse for Arsenal fans. 2 months practically. So yeah, so he'll probably be returning end of Feb, and yeah, that's gonna have a huge impact. They don't really have someone that is a natural replacement, and kind of similar to Liverpool. We've never had a natural replacement for Salah over the years. We've got Chiesa now. But if you look at their squad, Sterling would have been the perfect one, I think, because he's played right wing for a lot of his parts of his career. Did it at Liverpool, did it at City as well. Has played it for England on a number of occasions. So right wing would have suited his game. You'd probably say Martinelli, maybe, but I don't think that's really his position. He's the type of winger that likes to cut in and shoot from distance. Trossard maybe. Havertz if you really wanted to stretch it, or Jesus could play there. I would probably say Jesus is the safe option. He's predominantly played right wing in his career. Not his natural position, but he's been made into that sort of player to to occupy the right flank. So I think it'll be interesting because he's actually picked up some good goal scoring form recent weeks. Um, so it's not all doom and gloom for Arsenal. They just need to maintain their consistency and make sure they're able to gain some points and try and climb up that table. They've been in third place for quite a few weeks now, so not a lot of progress made. But you can't rule out Arsenal in terms of the title challenge. It's not just a two-horse race. I think Arsenal involved, Chelsea involved. Yeah, Man City are long gone. But I'd say these three teams are the ones challenging for the title. Uh, Daz says bit up to Nick. And then he says hi to Daz. And then Abdul Rahim says, hi, Ozzie. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Walaikum salam to you, Abdul. I'm doing good. Thank you. I hope you are well. He says, like, comment, share, and subscribe. You never walk alone. And many thanks. Big up yourself, Abdul, as always. And that's saying hi to Abdul. Um, and Abdul also saying, hi, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year 2025. Many thanks. Big up yourself, Abdul, there. Always sending nice comments there. Dad says, which one of the three do you think Slot will start? Ozzy, Jota, Nunes, or Cody? I think he will start two out of the three that you mentioned there. I think he'll start with Jota and Nunes. Interesting who he plays on the right. I'd possibly go for Elliot. That would be my choice, but I'll elaborate more in tomorrow's show. Also, obviously, I'll check the team news because there might be some breaking news or maybe someone's not available for selection. But that would be my thinking. I would like Armstrong to rotate the squad for the Leicester game and then go a bit stronger for the West Ham game. But we'll see. We'll see what Armstrong does. Um, oh, so this is your comment from earlier, they were in blue yesterday. I mean, officials for Spurs. Yeah, why not black? I'm not too sure. You know that. That is actually a good point. I have no idea because they were in white. Maybe because they have blue. No, but even then, I don't know. I have no idea. It's not. It's probably just something that they've just selected to do because there's no clashing colors. Obviously, we're wearing our red kit. They're wearing blue. Sorry, they're wearing white with blue shorts. So yeah, I don't know. No idea, Daz. Maybe it was just a fashion statement on their part. Who knows? Um, but yeah, that is the comments for today, and that is also the end of the show. So thank you so much for tuning, everyone. Thank you to Daz. Thank you to Jamie. Thank you to Nick. Thank you to Abdul for your comments. Appreciate your engagement as always. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And also, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like the video. It helps us reach different audiences and helps us gain more coverage on YouTube, and as well, if you can share it on social media, that would be fantastic as well. In terms of content coming out this week, you know, it might be Christmas period, but there's games happening, so we'll have a lot to do this week. So tomorrow I'll be doing a match preview of Liverpool versus Leicester City. Time to be confirmed. I might do an earlier show than I normally do, so best thing to do is hit that notification bell. So as soon as I've uploaded a stream, you'll know what time I go live. And on Thursday, I'll be doing the live watch along of that game, plus a match reaction late in the evening. And then Friday, we're doing a match preview of West Ham versus Liverpool, and possibly do a watch along on the weekend for that as well. So lots of content coming your way. I might even squeeze in a transfer talk show, you know, with transfers, you know, I'm sure will be the talking point in the next few days with the January window open next week. So it's only right that we speak about some of the popular rumors circulating, and I'll give you my opinion on what I think is real, what I think is fake news. But yeah, look out for that one. And that is it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.